Welcome to episode 35. I'm Joey.
And I'm Alex.
And we are Mainly Games, a podcast that talks about, well, mainly games.
That's it.
It's funny. I couldn't remember if we actually said...
That sounds really weird, but how you did that.
It really does.
It didn't... I was like, what is happening?
Do we give the title first and then the episode number? Or usually the bumper at the beginning?
No one's the bumper at the beginning.
And that's what... It just felt very clunky.
It did feel clunky, I'm not going to lie.
But I will say it kind of felt clunky because we're recording this right after we've been watching Terminal List.
Oh, I know. I feel super paranoid, by the way.
I know. I mean, for you that haven't, this is a series we just started watching.
Yes.
Terminal List on Amazon. Everybody's been talking about it, saying how great it is. So we thought we'd watch one episode.
We thought, hey, this would be worth it.
That was an enormous mistake.
It was, because we started yesterday, correct?
Yes.
And we've got 2 more episodes to go and finish the season. So that should tell you, and we've been working in between. So that should tell you what we've been doing.
And there's 49 episodes in the first season.
That's it. It's incredible.
Okay, there's only like 8.
There is only 8.
But it's very addictive. So if you haven't seen it yet.
But I'm super paranoid right now. I feel like, anything could happen.
Yes, and there's probably not one we should watch with our daughter.
No,
but
which is why she's been watching her tablet.
It's very good.
Yes.
So that just jumps right into TV shows we've been watching.
It does. Let's jump into it.
Which is funny how we haven't been watching TV shows much lately.
Nope.
But now we have. Terminal List.
Terminal List we have.
We've actually watched a couple of other ones.
We have indeed. We've been busy.
We started watching the Cuphead cartoon.
Yeah, that's on Netflix. It's new.
Yeah, now see, I'm not a huge... I know there's a Cuphead game now, and I know Vagrant Song is in the Cuphead kind of style of animation. But I've never been a Cuphead fan or really looked at Cuphead
I didn't even know it was a thing until I saw this thing on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
So you hadn't heard anything about Cuphead?
No, I had not. Do you know what it reminded me of? And I just Googled it to find out. It reminded me of the new Mickey mini shorts that they have on Disney that they built that Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway at Hollywood Studios based on. That one, right? That style reminds me of that.
Which are great because I had a magician friend visiting from Nashville and I showed him one of those and we must have watched...
Well, you didn't show him. Juliet happened to be watching it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we were working on some shows in the back.
Yeah.
And one came on and we just sat there for 40 minutes and just watched them.
Yeah.
The animation is incredible and it's just...
Very slapstick humor.
The style is just...
really good.
And we kept looking at each other saying, this is just incredible.
I do really like to watch those. Every time they do a new one, because they do them sometimes during the holidays, they do one for Christmas and Halloween and all that, la-di-da. I really like to watch the new ones that they do. They do a great job.
But now the Cuphead cartoon is weird.
It is very weird, but it has that slapstick feel to it, too.
It does. I guess I don't understand the lore behind it. So
no, I do feel like I need to Google this more.
There must be some nostalgia for people because I'm not really...
Is it a thing? And is it being,
I don't know
redesigned?
I don't know. Do they go into why this person has a cup as a head?
And one is Mug, right? Mughead, Cuphead?
Yeah, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know
either. Are you Googling Cuphead right now?
I am indeed. How did you know?
So
yes.
Also, we did
There are 2 seasons of it, by the way.
Ugh, not gonna make it through those.
No way.
What?
So the girl that
Share
plays...
with the class.
Okay, I'm sorry. The girl that plays the voice of Daphne on Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
Right? She's one of the voices in it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. She's a really good voice actress.
What is her name? Gray...
Gray Delis?
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Delis.
She's in a lot.
She's a voice of everything. She's super talented.
Yeah, she's like the Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Right now. Okay.
Okay, so it says the Cuphead Show is an animated slapstick comedy streaming series. There you go.
That gives us so much information about it. So
loosely based on the 2017 Canadian video game. There you go.
Can we please move on from Cuphead?
I'm sorry. Now I'm really interested. This is the thing.
So we did actually watch the Space Jam, the one with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, the original one.
Yep, we saw the LeBron James one a while back.
I didn't. You and Juliet did, but yes.
Yeah, it was.
So I have nothing to compare this to.
It was fine. I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't. We'll never watch it again. First of all, it seems to be all about LeBron James because Bugs Bunny does not show up for 30 minutes into it,
That's what I heard. As soon as Juliet came home, she's like, Bugs Bunny wasn't in the movie forever.
Yeah, it takes him forever. But this one just starts off cartoon and goes through. This one...
There's lots of Looney Tunes and a little bit of Michael Jordan kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Michael Jordan did not really lean into his acting here, but it's
He didn't do terrible.
No. I'm saying they didn't like make it a focus about how great he can act.
I can understand.
He did his job great.
He did.
But
you can tell he did really good. Like they knew what they were doing, and so they would feed him a line, hit record, and he would repeat it back to them. You know, kind of thing. I was like, that's the way you should do it. You know, when you don't have actors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it holds up.
I'm not criticizing that at all. I mean that as a nice thing.
No.
Yeah. Okay, good. I realized
He's the goat.
I was like, that could have come out as like just a horrible thing to say, but I didn't mean that.
What does GOAT stand for, by the way?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at me.
You knowing your acronyms.
I know.
What does acronym stand for?
Ha 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 ha.
Okay, good. All right. All right. So now we did get an email from you guys asking us to do more off the shelf reviews.
Yes.
Because we did those for a while and we've been doing a lot of off the press. And we will get back to doing more off the shelf, and we're going to actually do it this episode, I believe, too. And you're right. We have been doing, that's what people say. They like the fact that we mix off the shelf with off the press.
Yeah.
Because just because a game is newer does not mean it's better.
I was listening to something today.
Yep.
And they said that what often happens is a board game is released.
Yep.
And people play it for 3 months, and then they'll never play it again.
And that's true.
And then I was like, woof, I'm so guilty of that.
It's kind of like a restaurant. If a restaurant makes it through that first year or two, you know it's going to make it.
It's a winner.
Because a restaurant is always busy. They're always busy when they open, and that excitement, that whole buzz is there. Yeah. And then so many restaurants close their doors after that initial
I feel like
thirst.
here, particularly in Southwest Florida, because we have that huge tourist kind of industry here, we have a lot of that with restaurants.
Yeah, and board games are the exact same way.
Yeah, you kind of feel sad.
So now this is interesting too. I'm in a buddy's wedding coming up. I think it's in March or whatever, right?
It is, correct.
So he asked me to be in it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that'd be fun. So I'm in the wedding. Then he hits me with recently. He's like, okay, hey, it's going to be a themed wedding. Ooh. People are going to be dressed up. I thought that's cool. And we want you to dress up like a Gandalf. And I thought that's cool. You know, I've heard of themed weddings. I've never been a part of one. So I thought this would be fun. And then it just hit me this week. What if he's lying?
Yes.
I mean, what if...
And you were the only one?
I mean, what if everyone else there is in tuxedos and nice dresses, wedding gowns, and I show up with a staff and all thou
White
shalt
hair?
not pass,
Yes.
you know?
I know what you mean.
I thought,
Are you going to have a suit in the car just in case?
I don't know. Because it just hit me. I'm like, what if he's lying?
Yeah.
What if he's just telling me that to see if I'm actually going to show up in a Gandalf costume?
I wonder.
I know, but honestly, I'm gonna play it out.
You should.
I'm gonna see, because if he does that,
yeah,
I'm just gonna sit there and golf clap. I'm just gonna say, well
done,
well played,
well done,
well played. I am gonna curse him with every curse from Mordor. And I will utter that language there.
You will. So you're going to learn Elvish or whatever?
Yep, I'm going to switch out the rings.
Or Nordian or whatever the word is.
We'll switch out the rings. So they're going to have ring wraiths chasing them for the rest of their lives.
That's it, my precious.
He wasn't a ring wraith. That was Gollum.
Okay, but I was thinking of the same thing, though. He wanted the ring, right?
He did want the ring.
There you go. That's what I was thinking about.
But he just liked jewelry. It didn't go into that. That's more like sequel and stuff.
Okay.
But
have we talked about the new Lord of the Rings? It's coming out super soon.
Coming out today, I guess.
Oh, today? No way.
Yep. We have not watched it, and we probably won't, because we're watching Terminalist, and I want to bank them.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we going to do? Watch them every week? What is this, the 80s?
What is happening, by the way? It used to be streaming services would drop everything all at the same time, and I'm like, this is glorious. We can binge this, right? And now they're doing this silly week-to-week thing. They need to stop doing this.
Well, I think they're doing it because people will join for a month and catch up and then stop.
Yeah. Well, people now do that still. They join for a month. They wait till the series is done.
This is
join
true.
for a month, then drop it.
This is true.
That is what they do. I hear people do that all the time.
Yeah, you should contact Mr. Netflix and Mr. Hulu.
And Mr. Disney, I should, shouldn't I?
There was a Mr. Disney. I'm trying to do the whole
I know
last name.
I know, but there's not a Mr. Disney now who's currently running the company.
Sure, there is a Mr. Disney.
There is a Mr. Disney.
See, you should contact him, her.
Well, they don't
whoever.
care. They just have shares in the company. They have no operating control of Disney.
Yeah, I learned way more in the last 5 seconds about Disney than I care about.
Really?
So,
it's pretty interesting, though.
It's not.
Okay.
It's about me and Gandalf.
Okay. All right.
All right. So anyway, we have a lot of games to cover today.
We do. We have a fun list.
So several. Now this first one has been on our shelf of shame for a while, and you got a chance to play it, and I didn't. And this was one that has a lot of buzz around it.
It does.
Right?
It won the Pegaspiel, right?
Hey,
oh no, not Pegaspiel.
Butcher those every day.
Every time.
And the way you say it, you always say spiel. You always
spiel.
You're all You're always like, who's that Scottish actor?
Oh, he was James Bond when he goes Tinnish.
Yes. What is his name? Everyone's yelling at the radios right now.
I know. He's James Bond.
Goodness.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. You sound like Sean Connery every time you say spiel. Pegasus spiel.
So it's so funny talking about this, right?
The books fell on my head. I blame myself.
That's pretty funny. This is a total thing, right? So your shows and results often start at 6:30, right?
Right.
And so people...
I'm aware. I'm there.
People often ask me, how long did the show last? And I say, he'll often be done by 7:05, 7:10-ish. And every time I say that, I chuckle to myself a little bit inside. And I know if I laugh out loud, people think I'm a literal loon. But that is what I'm thinking. 10-ish.
It's that one meme that stuck with you?
Yes, it's that one meme. But every time, I say that maybe 50 times a day, talking about your show, and so I chuckle every time to myself.
You know what that meme is? It's just like
I don't know, but you sent it to someone.
Yes, tennis.
And you remember someone said they didn't get it, and you're like, say it out loud. And so they said it out loud, and then like, ha.
Oh, yeah.
Just so, if you haven't seen the meme, we'll have to put it up so people can see it, just so they know we're not crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know what. It was one of those memes that just kind of tickled me in the middle of the night. Like, there was one that had like, I forgot, and I will laugh randomly at things.
Yeah.
And somebody sent me this thing. It's like, talking about how our lives are finite and they all end in death, and sadness is the hardest part about being a party clown. And for some reason, that just stuck with me when somebody said that to me. I thought, oh, that's funny. Clowns don't do that, folks. Okay, so anyway, no, the game is...
Sorry, I'm just Googling the meme.
Cascadia.
Yes, it is. Okay, so Cascadia by AEG.
Yep.
Okay, so let me explain how you play this one. So to start off with, each player starts with a 3 hexagonal habitat tile, and all the hexagons are joined together, right?
Right.
And this tile has one of each habitat on it. Then on your turn, you're going to choose a new habitat that is paired with a wildlife token from the 4 pairs that are in the center of the board, or in the center of the table, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to place the animal token on one of the corresponding animal symbols on one of your hexagons, right? Some hexagons will have 2, some will have 1. So you have to, like, if you have a fox, you can only put the fox on one of the hexagons that have a fox.
But what does it say?
Bing, 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 bing.
Go ahead.
Okay. And then at the end of the game, you're also going to try and place your hexagon next to a corresponding habitat, because at the end of the game, you're going to get points for the largest habitat. So if you have the largest forest, you're going to get points.
Right.
If you have the largest desert, water, yada, 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 right?
Okay.
Now, each animal also gets points at the end of the game based on its scoring. And what I liked about this game is that there were multiple cards for each animal. So every time you replay the game, you can use a different one. So, for example, in our game, 2 bears got you points. Foxes had to be all by themselves, but around different animals.
So every animal scores
differently, and there are cards that you can all see that you're playing off, but there are multiple cards. So next time you play the game, you'll just pick a different card, right?
Okay. And the cards are community. So everyone scores the same way.
Everyone scores the same way, correct. And then you keep going until all the tiles are gone.
Okay.
Now, there are different number of tiles for different play counts. So obviously, if there are 2 players, there are less tiles than if there are 4 players.
Yeah.
We played with a full 4, so we had all the tiles out, so we kept going around and around until all the tiles are gone. And there is one thing that adds a little bit, it helps you every now and then, because you might be like, hey, what happened if I want to get one habitat hexagon and I want to get an animal from a different pairing? Well, if you place an animal on if there's a hexagon that has a single animal on it, has a little triangle on the top too, to help you remember this, you get a little leaf token, and then you can trade those leaf tokens in to pick up one hexagon from one pile and one animal from another pile. And there you go. And that is how you play that.
Okay. It is AEG. It says like flat AG. Out. Yeah. So
no, it's
games.
AG.
AG. Perfect.
Now, this I was going to say is part of a trilogy of games. So there's Calico being the first one. Cascadia is the second one.
Yep.
And there's also Verdant.
All right. So
is the final one.
So Calico's about the cat. Cascadia is when the cat gets out, and Verdant is when he becomes sentient and can actually
Yeah,
No, that's
he's
not
either
true
like
at
in
all.
the box or not a box.
But
in the box.
yeah, that's cat in the box.
I know.
But now the weight on
I'm
this
glad you
is-
got that. Thank you.
the weight on this is 1.8.
Yeah.
So it's a very light game.
Oh, I was going to say it's very light, but there is a lot of strategy to it. And I must admit, I'm not usually a fan of games that describe themselves as an abstract strategy game. As soon as you say those two words, I'm generally not interested in it, right?
They're also hard for you to say.
Yes, that's probably why too. But I liked this game way more than Calico. I really liked Calico.
I did too.
I really did like it, but I liked it a lot more. And I think one of the reasons is Calico, you're limited to that your arrangement of hexagons based on the board size, right? You
Right.
can only go a certain way. But in this, you can put your hexagons as long as or as wide as you want to. You're endless.
That's true because your board is kind of it's finite in the size in Calico. Now, Kyle and Tori are huge Calico fans. Did they like Calico more or this Cascadia?
I didn't ask them, but I believe they liked Calico more. But they are
Okay.
huge cat fans too, so I think that may have helped. I think they like the theme better.
That's interesting. So this one you can
Yes.
build out as far as you want to in any direction
can,
you want to.
in any direction. Why in Calico you're limited to that board. Here I'm looking at here now. So you've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexagons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 5. In
Okay.
Calico. Why in Cascadia you can go limitless, which I really took advantage of because I built a really long forest. I think my forest got me 28 points.
Okay.
Which in Calico you would not have had that option because the board is not that big.
See, I would like to play this one, and I think
Yeah.
it's incredible. Number one, looking at the ranks of this,
Yes.
it's just a 2021 game, so it's probably a little over a year old.
Well,
if
and
that.
I listened to last week's podcast today, and in your definition, 2021 is old.
Okay. Well, anyways, not old.
And no, it's not. No.
But the overall rank
Yeah.
of this is 61 out of how many thousands of games on there. And then in family, as far as family board games, it's number 6.
Yeah.
Abstract, it's number 1.
Yeah, I could see that. It's a really good. Like I said, normally don't like abstract, but it's
Yeah, I don't either.
I really liked it, and I would definitely play this game in a heartbeat. I would play this game.
I'm looking through the abstract list right now.
Yeah.
And of course, Cascadia is number 1. I'm going down.
Okay.
Ones I really like. Azul, it's fine. Not crazy about it. Inish, no. Or Yinch, I guess. Yinch. Yeah. Patchwork. I don't know. War Chest is fine. But Calico, probably Calico is the first one. And then Santorini's down there as well. Which we all know what you think about that. The Onitama. Yeah. So most of these I'm not crazy about, but I do want to play Cascadia.
Yeah.
It does sound good, and family games at 6, which is incredible. Number 1 family game, Wingspan.
Hey.
Didn't know. Also, Lost Ruins of Arnak for a family game. Don't see that at all.
No.
Oh,
How's
wow.
that a family game?
No idea.
Okay.
There's really blew that one.
Okay.
And the 2 Crews, Everdale. All right. Anyway, so Crokinole, reaching back on
You
that
went
one.
down a rabbit hole,
I
didn't
did.
you?
Didn't look at that. All right. So, yeah. So Cascadia, I
Yeah.
do want to play this, and what's nice is it can hit the table fairly easily.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Cascadia, and the new one is on Kickstarter. You said,
Yeah, Vernon is on Kickstarter. I believe you can still late pledge it.
Okay.
And I believe, I was looking at today, there's a print and play version of it too.
But all these are fairly small box, inexpensive games.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're not talking like $200 or $300.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, this was a very affordable game.
All right.
Yeah.
I might look at that. I did like Calico. We have so many people in our gaming group that we
That's
haven't
it.
gotten
Yeah. And I also liked it too in Cascadia, how they add the animals. Like in Calico, you're just placing tiles.
Right.
While here, you're placing the animals. And
Okay.
I believe, so as well as the tiles. So you've got to match the hexagons and the animals.
Okay.
And I believe from what I was reading about Vernon today is that they take both those aspects and they add some stuff to it too. But that is not using a hexagonal thing. They use cards in that game.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'll look at that.
You should.
We should play it. All right. So the
yeah.
next one, the next one is a bit of a different game.
It is indeed.
And this is a 2019 game, but it also came out in 2022, a mini version of it.
Tiny version.
And this is Yura Yura Penguin.
Yes.
Yura Yura Penguin.
Yura.
I'm not. But all right, so Yura Yura Penguin and Yura Yura Penguin Mini, which are the same things, but just one is a bit smaller than the other one. Obviously,
Yes.
with the
we
mini.
played the mini version, if you're wondering.
We did.
Yeah.
All right, so this is if
Okay.
if Rhino Hero and Uno had a child.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is funny because one of those games I like, the other one, not so
Yeah.
much. So this game, everyone is handed handed a hand of circular cards. It's one thing that's hard to get used to. These cards are circular. And the remainder of the cards are put in a circle on the table face down. These have blue backs, so they look like the ocean, okay? Then an iceberg cutout is folded and then placed in the middle of all of those cards. So then the next player, and then a card is placed on top of that. Then the next player needs to do the effect on that card. Depending on what the effect is, it could be draw a couple of cards, draw a card, place a penguin, or place a block of ice. Okay, so you need to place that on there, and then you have to then fold another iceberg and put another card with the same color on top of it. So if it's like dark blue, you put a dark blue one up there. Light blue, you put a light blue. White, you put a white. And there's also cards that are 3 different colors, and that's how you change. Like if you have a dark blue one, you can put one of the 3 colors on it on top of that. And the next person then can put any color, and you continue to go up. If you can't put that color on top of there, you then have to draw a card, and it goes to the next person. So you keep going through. Now, you keep going as the tower will get taller and taller, and whoever gets rid of their card first, all their cards first, wins. Woohoo. Or if the tower falls over, the person with the least cards, not including the one that knocked over the tower, wins.
Yeah.
It's of course, otherwise you just knock over the tower if you have the least cards.
Yeah.
So that's it. Very simple game, very family-friendly game. It's honestly, I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
Oh, absolutely. I really like this. I'm actually amazed looking at BGG is not ranked in family games at all, because I would say this is a way more family game than Cascadia. But anyway, no, this game is really fun. Very easy to play, but really fun to play. It got that Jenga feel to it, because, as you're building the tower up, you're like, oh, is it going to fall? I like that.
It's got a weight of 1. I mean, it's a very just...
Oh, it's a super light game.
Featherweight game.
Yeah. Particularly the mini version. Like, you could take that mini version on a plane with you and, maybe not play it on a plane, but you know what I mean? Like, you could travel with that super easy. It's so
simple. But I will tell you, I really, really like this game. And I'm not one that kind of gets games from overseas a lot just to have them. This is one that kind of intrigued me to the fact that I kind of chased it down. I think I kickstarted it or something.
Yeah.
But it's a fun game.
It's really fun. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we ended up making the mistake of playing it on the bed.
We did play it on the bed.
A lot of times before we go to sleep at night, I'll read some instructions for a game the next day. And if it's an easy game, then we'll just kind of crank through it at night.
Yeah.
But this one, we just thought, we'll try this. And
we had a little tray table that we're playing it on. So... Yeah. That was fun. That added to this because we couldn't move.
Exactly, and that was the big thing about that is just making sure the bed didn't move and all that.
Yeah.
But this is one I really, really like.
This was definitely a good purchase by you. I approve.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
So that is Yura Yura Penguin, and that is spelled Yura.
Penguin.
Penguin. Mm-hmm. So everyone's favorite flightless bird.
Oh, it's self-published. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah.
I just saw that.
Yeah.
Flightless bird. Can you name another flightless bird?
Emu.
Are they?
Yep.
Is that Australian?
Yep.
Well, you have an advantage
Ostrich.
here. Are those Australian?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't know. I've heard it both ways.
Ostriches are not Australian. I know that.
Fine. Whatever. I think you guys have everything over there. Okay, so anyway.
I'm going to find out where they live.
Apparently, she knows more flightless birds than me. I thought it would be a lot harder question. But apparently, she just knows every flightless bird.
No.
So neither one of those can fly.
Emus can't fly now.
How about ostriches?
Hang on.
Are you checking?
Yeah, I'm looking at now. Okay, so kiwis, they can't fly either. Neither can emus.
Kiwis can't fly? They're little.
They are tiny.
Have they tried? I think it's laziness on kiwis' part.
But I can see that. I don't think they have the wings to fly. Yeah.
Well, if they don't have wings, they're not a bird.
Well, like your wings have to go out to get the air. Like they just have little wings that do nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So ostriches are from a sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay.
There you go. So
that's not where Australia is.
Correct. It's not.
All right.
Maybe the opposite side of the world. Maybe.
Maybe.
Just throwing it out there.
Everything is the opposite side of the world. You guys.
True.
Including us right now.
Yep, we are 9,000 miles away.
How did you map it?
No, I just remember you telling me when I was in Australia and you were here.
Yeah, when you used to call me in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that was fun. I know, right?
Okay, so
and then vice versa, you would call me.
That's true.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, so next we're going to review Psychic Pizza Deliverers Go to the Ghost Town. And
which has the best name ever.
It really does. This one, of course, was an Instaback for us.
Because it's by Board Game Tables.
Yep. And it was... Okay, so pretty much to describe this one, think of it as Battleship with pizza and ghosts.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so pretty much one person is the mayor, and he's the only one with the map of where everyone is.
Yep.
So
hidden movement kind of thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
On his board, behind his kind of sheet that he has a hidden, he's got a map of, I think it's 7x7 or 6x6, but he's got where everyone is. Everyone starts. The 4 people in there, so he's got little meeples there, and he also has locations of pizzas, houses, ghosts, and fences on his board, right?
Yeah.
So everybody gets a chance to move, and every time they move, they're told a bit of information. They're told, hey, there's a fence to your left, or a fence to your right, or told where the fences are. And they're also told how many ghosts, fences, pizzas, and things are around them. They're not told where they are, but they're told how much they are.
Yeah.
So they're going to notate that on their board. Okay, now their board is a lot larger than the mayor's because they could be moving different. So everyone's on the same map, but they don't know where the other person is.
They don't know their position.
Right. So the information they look at the other people, they can't really decipher it unless you see certain landmarks that you think are there. So you can keep moving around. So as you move around, you know there's a pizza near you. You keep trying to find the pizza. Like if there's a pizza near you, you go north, there's no more pizza. So you have to go back down, and that way you know where it is. So the whole object of this game is to find a pizza and deliver it to the right house. I say the right house because there are cheese pizzas, pepperoni pizzas, and different types of pizzas like this. And the houses are cheese pizza houses, pepperoni pizza houses. So these houses have ordered certain types of pizzas.
Yeah.
So once you get a pizza, you move on to it. The mayor then says you have found a cheese pizza and gives you a pizza. And then the house will show up. And you've got to find that house and try to deliver that pizza. And if you're the first one to do that, you win the game. Now, I also mentioned there are ghosts. Ghosts will block your movement. This is one thing I kind of thought was weird because ghosts really can't kill you, can't hurt you, but they will block where you're going.
Yeah.
So if you have a ghost, if it's like they say one ghost is around you, and you try to move right, and the mayor then says, you can't move right, there's a ghost in your way. So the next time, you attack the ghost. And without doing anything, you kill the ghost.
Yeah.
And you get a card. These cards can give you benefits. Like you can find out the better location of where a pizza is or a house is or things like that. Now, one thing I did not go into is portals. Portals can throw everything off. When you step into a portal, all of a sudden you're somewhere different on the map.
Yes,
so you have to start notating on your board where you are, and then your new location. You have to find that. And one more thing about fences are, because your board is larger and their board is either 6x6 or 7x7, I can't remember which one, but their board is a smaller size. If you're trying to hit the sides of their board, you're told there's a fence in the way. So it might just be the edge of their map.
Yeah.
Okay? So, all right, so all that is, the object is it either goes 20 turns or it delivers the pizza to the house.
Yes.
And that's it. So what were you played this once. I played it twice.
I played it twice
once.
Too.
You have played it twice?
I played it twice, yeah.
Did you play it at Gen Con?
I played it at Gen Con and then played it here. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what did you think about it? And I'll tell you what my thoughts were.
I find this game really frustrating.
I agree with that.
I don't know why it frustrates me so much, but it does really frustrate me. I almost find it too long. Like you find a pizza and then you have to feel like you're like climbing around trying to find a house, or you find a house and then you're climbing around trying to find a pizza. It's very frustrating. I find the portals a massive pain in the tushy. Yep. I almost wish they weren't there. I understand why they're there, but because they add something, but they are very, very annoying because they just throw everything off. The couple of times I played it, every time several people, myself included, have been near a house, there's a portal, and so then they get thrown off. And then and like when I hit a portal, I was like, I knew I was close to a house, but now I have no idea where I am. You kind of almost give up.
Yeah, that was honestly, I think, frustrating.
That was just how I felt. I was like, now I'm done. You know?
Yeah, and that was frustrating even as the mayor looking at it and being like, oh man, I hope they don't hit that portal. It's almost like I got to the point where I was rooting for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
that's good.
I'm like, okay, good. I really hope they find it. And then it's like, oh, or if there are so many times that you both are on the same square, right?
Uh-huh.
Like one person would say, like, I'm going to try to move to the west. Oh, you can't because there's a ghost in your way. And you're like, okay, cool. So next time he comes around to me, I'm going to kill that ghost. Then somebody else over there kills a ghost. And then you try to kill a ghost, and I have to say, well, there's no ghost there. You're like, there was just a ghost there. And it takes you a second to realize, oh, so they had just killed that ghost. Mm-hmm. So there's little things like that are it takes a lot more thought. It seems like it is an easy game, but the complexity of it, it's a lot you've got to kind of soak in. I will say...
I was going to say, I would definitely not play this with people who've never played board games / new to board games, because I can see them getting so frustrated and being like, I'm never playing a game before.
Yeah.
And never playing a game ever again, because it's very frustrating. You, like I said, you just kind of, I feel like I've got a blindfold and I'm just climbing around, you know?
Yeah, I mean...
It's annoying.
I think the Battleship... analogy works to a certain point.
Yes.
But almost to the point of where, like, Awkward Guess is Clue on steroids.
Yes.
This is probably Battleship on steroids and creatine and whatever else.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
A couple things that I think, first of all, everyone should be the mayor to appreciate the game a bit more.
Okay. Because you played the game and been the mayor, right?
I have. And I was frustrated playing it at Gen Con, but when I'm the mayor... you kind of can visualize a bit more what's happening. Uh-huh. So I think shifting that position, I think if you try it as a mayor, you'd like it a bit more.
Okay.
And that's one thing that makes me think, well, hold on. Then you've got 1/5 of the people that are actually enjoying the game. Uh-huh. So now that I've played the mayor, I would kind of like to go back to playing a deliverer, a pizza deliverer, and seeing if I all of a sudden have more appreciation or enjoyment for it now that I know what's going on. Because you don't know what's happening behind that board.
No,
and that's what everybody wanted to see after somebody won. I forgot who won that game.
Jacob won.
Jacob won, yeah. So, but then everybody wanted to come around and see, okay, where was I? What's going on? That's kind of the fun part of seeing that at the end.
Yeah,
and you're like,
I completely agree. I do like to come back and go, okay, that's where I was.
Right.
You know, okay, that makes sense. You know, but when you're in that moment, it's super frustrating.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the portals are annoying. And
super annoying.
And I guess they are necessary. But the first time we played at Gen Con, we had a card that allowed us to not be sucked into the portal.
Yeah.
But really, I feel like the portal's just kind of, I've worked for nothing. You know, you just kind of erase. And now you don't have to, when you get better at the game, you don't need to erase where you are.
Yeah.
You can kind of make one large map and try to figure out where these things are. Mm-hmm. And there's probably a lot of things you can do to make the game easier by looking at other people's maps, kind of reading things like that. But the portals are frustrating.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty big part of it.
Right now I'm not in a rush to go back and play this game.
No, I am, just because I want you to be the mayor and I want to kind of see how it is from the other side.
But then I want to go back. Then after I play the mayor, then I'm going to have to go back and see if it gives me a renewed
exactly.
thing. So now I have to play this game that I'm not super thrilled on twice.
But it is a short game.
True, it is short.
30 to 40 minutes.
It's not terrible. It's not like it's a whole night gone.
And it's fun. Yeah. It's cute.
Oh, and I must admit, it looks amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it looks incredible, and I love the pieces, and I like the game, I like the boards, I like all of that stuff. I don't know, I just get so frustrated.
The components of this are really, really
They did a
nice.
fantastic job, and it's board game table, so I expect nothing less.
Right, exactly.
They do a fantastic job. I don't know, it's just super frustrating.
Yeah, and that's that. But I do think I want to give it another chance. So this one is recommended with caveats.
Yes.
And we will probably revisit this in the future.
Yeah. In like a year or two, maybe.
Yeah. Not that long. It'll be that long.
It might be that long.
So it's not going to be that long. So anyway, that is Psychic Pizza Deliverers Go to the Ghost Town. Again, one of the best names out there.
Fantastic name.
Yes.
They get a 10 out of 10 for names.
Woohoo! All right, so the next one now is Scout.
Yes.
This is one that I played several times at Dice Tower East. And really people loved it there, and it was a big hit at Gen Con. It was re-released by Oink Game. The original one is, I don't know. I think it was Japanese, the original one. And I played the original one at Dice Tower East. And I got the new Oink game one at Gen Con. Now, there's a big, a lot of people in our gaming group like different ones. Like, oh, I like this Scout more than this Scout. It's the same game. It's just all about the artwork, whether you like it. The new one is more of a circus themed. And the other one is just more, honestly, it just looks like you're playing a card game with the other one. It just has just a more typical card game look. I like the new one, but it really doesn't matter. Both of them are the exact same game. All right, so here's Scout. Pretty much what's happening in Scout is everyone gets cards into their hand. And as you get them, you are trying to get rid of cards by having a run or a group of pairs or triplets or whatever, the same card. And as you put them down, the next person has to beat that. And if they can't, they have to then scout. So they will take one of your cards from the end and put it in their hand. Okay? Like say if you put 4 9s down. The next person can't beat 4 9s, so they then take a card, put it down, and it goes to the next person, has to then beat 3 9s. And if they can't, they scout, put one in their hand, goes to the next person. If it ever makes it back to you, you have won that round. But now the biggest part of this, which is the biggest rub and what makes this game unique, you cannot rearrange your cards.
Correct. That is a unique thing right there.
Really is. Mm-hmm. So when you first get your cards, your hand of cards, you cannot change the order of them at all. Okay? So yeah, you can reverse the sides because each side of the card is a different number. Yep. Like it might be a 2 on one side, 8 on the other. So you fan out your cards, you look at it, you close the fan out the other ones. So what you're trying to decide before the game starts, you cannot flip them over anymore. But initially you can then look and say, okay, I've got a run here or I'm close to a run here if I can get rid of the 7 in the middle. This is the side I'm going to keep it. And at the beginning of that round, it's more likely that you just have to, somebody puts a 2 down. You can beat that with a 5. You can beat that with a 7. And people are starting to get rid of cards like that. And if you beat something, you then get those cards, and those are your points at the end of the game. And there's also one little token called a Scout and Play. And a Scout and Play that you get every round. A Scout and Play is you can put that and use it. That means you can take a card and then play it. So if you take that card, you take one of the first or last cards in a run in the middle of the table, put it into your hand, and then you put it down and you can beat it. And that's a Scout and Play. So pretty much that's what it is, and you keep going around, and it's a point value on who wins the game. What are your thoughts on this? Did you like it? Were you crazy about it or not?
So this is something that I realize this is not my strong point in life, right?
Right.
I'm not super great at thinking like multiple steps ahead. I can think 3 or 4 steps ahead, but when I have to think 5, 6, and you will concur to this, I'm not very good at this, right? This game requires you to think 5, 6 steps ahead. It's not my forte. So I was good maybe at the beginning because I could get that 3 or 4 steps, but when I had to start thinking 5 or 6 steps ahead, I'm out. So I did find it the first times we would go around and around, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to kill it. And then I'll be like, crap, I'm not going to kill it. So that was a little frustrating, but I still, even though you have to constantly be thinking ahead, I did really enjoy it.
I did too. And it's one of those things that, because the round could end either by a hand you put down hasn't been beat by the time it gets back to you, or you run out of cards.
Correct.
And when you scout, you can then take that card and put it in any orientation, anywhere in your hand.
Yes.
Which is big. So the big thing about it is you always, I feel like it's balancing on which cards to put down or trying to get that kill shot. For example, if you've got, say you've got a 3, 4, 5, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got 2 cards. And then you've got a 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
So you look down, you're like, well, I can beat that by putting these 3 down. But if I can somehow get rid of these 2 cards, I will then have a run that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or whatever. And I will put that down, and that will probably win the game.
Yeah.
But if I don't put one of those down now, there's a chance it might get back to him, and he'll win this round, and I will be stuck with the cards in my hand.
Yeah.
And those are negative points. So there's a really nice balance as far as that goes.
Yeah.
It's like you're almost balancing. It's like, okay, I hope somebody else beats it because I don't want to be the one to do this. So that's very interesting. And I think it's the uniqueness of this game is kind of what grabbed me.
The uniqueness of this game is genius.
Yeah, this was...
I do love how there is nothing out there like this game, right? It's great. I think it's fantastic. It's just, once again, frustrating to play. But I think I found this game less frustrating than Psychic Pizzas. I would happily play this game again over Psychic Pizzas.
Well, this is also a 10 to 15 minute game.
But but I did enjoy it more, even though I was terrible at it. I did enjoy the process and the gameplay a lot more.
Now, this was a 2022 spiel.
Really?
Spiel.
They make fun of me. Tennis.
Spiel. Sean Connery nominee.
Spiel. Yes.
So I do recommend this game. It's fun.
Too. I recommend this game a lot more than Psychic Pizzas.
Exactly. It's a very inexpensive game.
Yeah,
I don't know what we paid for it. It's by Oink Games, which are doing some good work. I love their Deep Sea Adventure.
Oh, that game is fantastic.
It's great.
This game, too, is really, really good. Like I said, if you're like me and stop thinking 5 or 6 moves ahead, you'll find this game a little more frustrating. But I think you'll still like to play it because I still felt I could be in the game and be part of the game, even though I'm not as well strategic as you are.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, I didn't mean exactly that, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But no, you are very strategic. That is you're very good at that stuff.
And it's very easy to just put in your bag and take anywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
So, okay, so that's Scout. It's a 2019 game, but the re-release is new this year by Oink Games. So 2019, that's back when chess came out, right?
That's ancient.
Yeah, no, but it's Scout. It's really good. And check it out. If you guys like card games, something unique like this, it's definitely recommended.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that is Scout by Oink Games.
Oink, oink.
All right. So then I wrote Gate for some reason on my... What am I talking about? I have no idea. I don't know what let's talk about. Oh, the World Series of Board Games are coming up. We haven't been talking about that, but those are coming up. We played the game the other day. We played Twilight Inscription, right? And we had some friends over, and they had their baby there, right? Yeah. So Elena, I was holding her a lot. And it made me realize I kind of chuckled several times because, when you have a baby at the table, you kind of help everybody takes turns so different people get involved in the game. But it's fun because I really thought the World Series of Board Games should add a baby.
Yes, they should be a category of playing a game while holding a baby.
Yeah, that right there adds this element of difficulty.
Or going out every 5 seconds to check on the kids. Like the kids need something, you keep getting up and down.
Yeah, yes. Just really, you should walk up to a table of 5 people playing, I don't know, Ticket to Ride or whatever.
Yeah.
And then just hand each of them a baby.
Yeah, yes.
Everyone gets a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they could double down. And then you know what? This guy's very arrogant. He's getting twins. I really think
this guy's ahead by 50. He can get triplets.
Exactly. And I don't know anyone involved in this World Series of Board Gaming, but I will contact them and see if we can make that happen.
We can add that category.
I think we should just
I feel like we should start a petition.
Start handing out babies.
Yes.
Get it. Well, they get them back.
Yeah.
But also kind of, make them cry sometimes. Make them a bit hungry.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun. I'd
grabbing
watch it.
the coffee cups, getting the pieces on the board.
Exactly.
Yeah. You got this.
Grabbing the stuff off the board. Like put the train down. No, not in your mouth. Be great. Be fantastic. So I think whatever we do, we should kind of make that happen.
We will try and do it for next
I'd go watch it if it would involve babies.
That'd be very fun to watch.
Yeah, it would be good.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that could work with poker too, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay. So
we were going to revisit a couple of games. I know last week we talked about Marvel Remix, and a few weeks ago we talked about Kites.
Right.
We've been playing the game recently, and both of those games we played with a higher play count, like the full, recommended number. And both of them need less numbers.
They really, really do.
Yes.
And
first of all, I think the reason why Marvel Remix needs less people is because it makes the game go longer. So you can actually have a chance to get good cards. Because when you have, 5 people, it makes that game go really quickly because you get that 10 discarded out very quickly. So you're just not getting the good cards to be able to get some good matches there.
Yeah, and I agree. Marvel, both of them say 2 to 6.
Yeah,
and we've given positive reviews for both of these games,
and they're both fantastic games.
I love them,
and
both.
I think you both need to buy all of them.
But we finally did play both of these at their full player count.
Yeah,
and that is not an experience that I recommend.
No.
Because
Kites is very difficult. We didn't even make it through like the first round, like the first time.
we got close to winning on Kites, but Kites is virtually unwinnable.
Just because
on
you're
6
all
players.
moving those egg
Yeah.
what are those sand timers?
Right.
So you just don't really stand a chance.
And Marvel Remix is one of those that your strategy has to change with 6 people because you're going to get far, far, far less turns.
Yes.
You know, because you are not going to be able to get that combo that you want at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
So this one, I would not recommend it at 6. I think the sweet spot in this one is about 4. And honestly, I think 2
Marvel
or 3
Remix?
or 4.
Yeah, I would say 2,
2,
maybe
3,
3.
4. I think those work good.
Yeah.
Kites, I think, again, I just don't think 6 is going to work.
I think 4 people for Kites is
I think
good.
so too. I think 2 might be a bit, I don't know about 2, but
I think 4. I think at 4 you're hitting that sweet spot.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So that's revisiting those 2. So if you have those, let me know your thoughts on those as well. Marvel Remix and Kites, if you guys find out they do work well at bigger counts.
Then tell us we're wrong, because I'd like to hear that.
We normally are wrong.
True, we normally are. I would actually like to know how you won.
With what?
With like the higher play accounts. If you played those games, tell us how.
Oh
your
yeah,
strategy.
because I was like, I did win last time, didn't I?
On Marvel Remix, yeah, you killed us.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
winning. Let's talk about what happened in Twilight Inscription. All right. So
I was wondering if you're gonna bring this up.
Okay.
I was like, I bet he's gonna bring this up, and I was like, I wonder, because I'm going back, I didn't cheat, right?
okay, yes.
I did not cheat, but then I can see why.
Judges think you cheated.
Maybe, and I think, who was it? Patricia said she thinks because I kept getting up and down to check on the kids, I would come back and take a turn and not realize you were still in the same turn. I don't know.
Nope, she's just being nice. But listen, here's what it is. Twilight Inscription. I have said that I wanted to play at the full player count. And we got about 7 people. Not the full player count, but we got 7 people, which is good.
We're super
right?
close.
So at the end, we're all counting up our points, right? So, and I knew, this is how I knew something was off. Because one of the guys, Jacob, was like, okay, I got 39. And somebody else says, 36. He goes, ooh. And Alex goes, ooh, you guys have, huh? And I'm like, oh no, here it comes. Here's something so far in left field of a number, right? So then she pops off with like 79. And we're like, that's no way you got that many points, right? And then we see her board, was it your navigation board?
No, not navigation. It was industry.
Her industry board was like, everything was marked off.
It was. Everything was
she
marked
just
off.
got every point
I
possible.
got at least 49 points there. That board I know I did not cheat on.
Yeah, she's a liar. But
I did not cheat on that board.
So then I say, there's no way. And you say, I marked all these off. And I say, well, I have no doubt that you marked them off. I see that. But I'm wondering, I don't think you marked them off legally.
Oh,
and
no.
then the best part of this is, I then point to your, somebody else points to your population. I think, Jose, like your population, you got all these, and you're like, well, maybe that's not right. Like, all of a sudden you admit that is not right.
Well, I was adding that up going, I don't feel like this is right. But my industry, I know I'm spot on there. Because like I said, that was the board I focused every round on. There was a few rounds at the end I did my expansion on.
Liar.
But I know I got all those points there.
All right,
I'm
she
just
is a
saying.
liar. But, okay, but it did get me thinking about rolling rights. Rolling rights, the biggest thing is everybody... Everyone is doing it on their own board, right?
Correct.
And it's one of those that it's easy not just to cheat, but to get one rule wrong that you don't know at the end, so you're doing something incorrectly.
Yeah.
Not saying you did this time, you did, but on different rolling rights, to do something incorrect, if you're doing it at an actual game, someone's going to see it either at the beginning or midway through the game and say, oh, you can't do that.
Yeah, and
they're
then
going to
stop
realize
you.
and then stop you. But when you're on your own board, then you have to know the rules 100% to get it through, right?
Yeah.
And Twilight Inscription is one of those that there are times that you circle a resource, you use a resource, and then you like mark it off, and then you're like, wait a minute. Or you say, I'm going to use these 2 resources, and you're like, wait, did I already mark them off yet? Do I need to mark them off again? And different types of people will err on the different types, on different sides. You're like, you know what? I'll just use them again to make sure I've used them. Or whatever. So there.
See, I don't do that when I do a roll and ride. If I go, oh, I've already marked it off, I go, oh, I've already marked it off. Like if I always urge on the side of caution. I know my 77 points in Twilight Inscription does not
79 points.
I thought it was 77.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a lot.
However many it was. I know at least 49 of those were legit.
Yeah, because they're on the one card that she cheated on. So
I did not cheat on that card.
And then she's nice. She goes, look, let's just not count any other cards except for this one. I'm like, that's because you know the highest point total is 36 besides that card.
I did not know that.
Did you not?
No.
So, but no, it made me realize that about the different roll and writes, and that is the most difficult thing. It's also one of those problems we hit on the first Dinosaur Island.
Yes.
And probably Dinosaur World as well, because you do keep those DNA tracks on your own.
You're doing your own kind of like busy work kind of thing.
Right.
You've got to just be trusting that everyone's doing the same thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a few games like that. Like Abomination's the same way. You're going to make sure, just trust that people are doing the right thing at the right time.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that people, I don't think they're going to cheat intentionally, but one small rule being off can throw it off.
Which I'm willing, because I really like Twilight Inscription, I'm willing to play this game again.
Yeah.
And get 49 points on expansion and prove you all wrong.
Yep. You won't do that. But so yeah, we're gonna need a judge sitting next to you.
I know what's gonna happen next time I play Twilight Inscription is that there's gonna be a camera on my board, and they're gonna go back and replay that.
Yep. And we're also gonna give you a baby.
Okay. Yes.
So
right,
you get a camera,
challenge accepted.
Camera, a judge, and a baby.
And a baby. Oh,
there we go. Here's your baby.
Little baby.
Oh, my gracious.
Goodness.
Okay. Anyway. All right. So that's it. That now we're going to talk about a list here, like we usually do. We like to find different lists on the internet, on the interweb.
I was about to say, we had a friend who used to, what did they call it? Hyperspace?
Oh yeah, I did a podcast with a buddy.
Yeah.
This was a long time ago, before podcasts got cool. That's how we met. But it was a podcast.
Yes, people might want to go back. Joey and I met through a podcast.
We did meet by we both were on a podcast for entertainers together. But anyway. It was called it was in hyperspace.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm like, it's not hyperspace. It's what do they call it? Web space. What is it? What is that word? I don't know. But anyway, it's not hyperspace, right? It's cyberspace.
Cyberspace.
Yes.
Just so you know, I was about to Google it. Like other words for internet.
But by that time, he had already made the logo and all that stuff, and it's like, okay, apparently we're in hyperspace. And I'm like, it was pretty funny. So we were always in that.
Always in hyperspace. I felt like I was on like Star Trek.
Yes.
You know?
It's all right. So anyway, all right.
List.
So this is a list. I think it's Game Rant that has it out there. And this is the 7 best board game accessories.
Correct.
And I'm curious to see if you agree with these.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
And we're going to see. And I want to hear you guys out there in hyperspace. I want to see if you guys agree with these or if there are any things that you would add to your board games. And this is the accessories that you can buy or they help create. You can get from Etsy and whatever. So, all right.
Spoiler.
So the first.
Have you read the list?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
Etsy's one?
Maybe.
Oh, man. Okay, so number 7.
Okay.
All right, so card sleeves.
I agree.
I agree. I wouldn't put that number 7. I'm not sure how these are numbered.
No, I would say we only card sleeve games that we really, really, really like.
Oh, I was going to put this as number 1. I think this, if you like a game, this is the first place I would go.
True. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, I think it's the first.
Yeah.
I would definitely like The Crew. We are playing that with some friends.
We're working through. We're at, what are we at, 36?
There's no way we're that high. I think we're 26.
No, we're not 26. Maybe we're in the 30s.
No,
I know
we're
that.
not.
Yes, we are, because we did like 3 the other day and we're at 25. So that would be, maybe we're at 28.
Okay, so anyway. But anyway, we're realizing
Look at
that
me
one,
doing math in my
we
head.
should have kind of sleeved those at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because they're getting a bit worn.
They're getting a little tatty.
So, yeah, definitely card sleeves are inexpensive.
Yeah.
Unless you're sleeving like something like Marvel Champions. But, so
We
card
played
sleeves.
Marvel Dice Thrones the other day, and we need to get
did.
special card sleeves for that game.
Yeah, I don't like that, by the way. I don't like when they have their cards strange sizes.
Yeah.
And you either need to buy the card sleeves from them or track them down somehow.
But all the card sleeves apparently have their own special backing.
This is true. So, okay, so
Fancy.
card sleeves is number 7.
Okay.
And I'd agree with that. That's a
Okay.
very important thing. Protect from liquid, food, grimy fingers.
Yeah.
And then just...
helps you shuffling, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Overall, protect the cards.
Yep.
So, agree with that.
Okay.
All right. Number 6, board game organizers and inserts. This is great. Now, organizers, because I hate things just rolling around in the box.
Yeah.
This is something with minis are pretty important.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if you have painted minis.
Absolutely, yeah.
But otherwise, it's hard. I love the new thing is that now Game Trace is really starting to sell are starting to really work with companies to have nice inserts in there. And what I really like is, which game was it the other day I was playing? It was not Wingspan. Oh, it was Cleopatra. And it had a sheet in there that told you exactly how to repack it.
That's nice.
That I like.
Wingspan does that too.
Yeah, so it's very nice to see how to put everything back in. And the bad part is once you sleeve or upgrade tokens, then you need a different type of insert. So, okay, so anyway, 6 is board game organizers and inserts. And
I would agree with this one too, also because if you just shovel the stuff in the board game, then the box falls apart and then they're on the shelves and you've got half a piece here and pieces over there. It's super annoying.
Right, and I've done something I never thought I'd do is start to, not rubber band, but they have, it was like board game tables selling, Dice Tower does too. They're just bands that go around these
Those
board
are
games.
genius.
Otherwise, they're going to, if you put them on their side, then they're going to slowly open up and it's just chaos.
Yep, so, I agree.
All right.
Yep.
Now, number 5, board game tables are expensive, but awesome.
Oh, super awesome.
Yeah.
We were recording this podcast now on one of those board game table.
Yeah, we have a Game Toppers right now.
Game Toppers, yeah.
And we are actually, a buddy is building us a game table.
I know, I'm sure when that happens, you're going to see photos. It's going to be amazing.
So,
it's going to be 8 feet long.
Yes.
Woo.
Yep, already got the wood. Wood's expensive, FYI. So, but yeah, board game tables, I guess it's an accessory, but yeah, they're great. And Game Toppers have made it a bit more affordable. And there's also a metal board game table out that's like $3.99.
Is that the one on Amazon?
No, that one's nice too.
Yeah,
there's a Game Topper on Amazon too.
Yeah, that looks kind of affordable too.
But this is just a metal table. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's one of my favorite things at Gen Con is to look at all the really nice board game tables you have.
You want to start at 12,000? Yeah.
Whew, yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that's really, it's nice.
Yeah.
So board game tables are great to have, especially if you have a dedicated room, or some of them double as dining room tables. So, yeah. All right. So that's number 5, board game table.
Number 4 is...
It is Etsy.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is kind of a...
I feel like this one's cheating because this is not an accessory. This is where you find accessories.
I guess I would put different things on here. Like I'd put Etsy / Board Game Geek. They're Geek Bits.
Yep.
You know, and different places like this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Etsy is one of those that is the devil.
You can get upgraded
because
tokens.
You can get so much stuff on Etsy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you like terraforming Mars, then you better just take out a second mortgage.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's so many nice things and they look great. Even the stickers.
Like for Lost Ruins of Arnak, those stickers are amazing.
Yeah. Friend bought us those, and it just the little stickers just add so much to stick them on the meeples.
Yeah, they just make that game have a little bit more zhoosh.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Zhoosh, not a word. But,
I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to think of a word, like just a little bit more.
Pizzazz.
There you go. I did the hand action, and thankfully he knew what I was talking about.
Zeus, the Greek god.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so, all right, number 4 is
Can
Etsy.
I actually interrupt here and tell a story? We were going to buy some accessories at Gen Con and off Etsy for Wingspan. And instead, you said I could just print them. And do you know what you've been doing this week? Well, you know what you've been doing this week.
I do know that.
But the audience might not know. He's been printing little fish and nectars. I've actually been playing with them the entire time we've been recording because they're sitting right here in front of me. We'll have to take a photo of these. These look amazing.
I actually put a picture of them on our Instagram.
Oh, good. You did. I'm so glad you did.
So for you have a 3D printer, these are easy. These are an easy print. It's a free file to download.
Okay.
So, yeah, on our Instagram, check it out. Mainly Games on Instagram. You can see a picture of those.
This ties into number 3 on the
list,
list,
it does,
by the way. Yeah.
Number 3 is 3D printers.
Yes.
This right here, although not a necessity, it really does make the board gaming hobby more fun.
I think 3D printers make life more fun. They do.
It's nice. Yeah. Now I tell everybody that wants to get one, it's not a plug and play. It is a hobby because they will go down, come up. You have to tweak them.
You have to tinker with them.
You do. But it's very fun to be able to upgrade a lot of your components yourself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah. So I agree with that. 3D printer.
Okay.
Yep.
Number 2,
board game bags. This is one. Board Game Tables has the best bags out there.
They do.
They've got some really good ones.
I also like that duffel bag we got too.
Yeah, that one.
That's
I can't
probably
remember.
my favorite. I think we got that off Amazon.
We did.
We got that big black duffel bag. That one, if we're going over to someone's place to play games, we'll take a duffel bag full of games.
Yeah, we probably use that one more than the other ones. That's more of a military bag because you can fit so many. Board Game Tables bags and all those bags are nice, but then you have to kind of stack them the right way and all this. That bag is just, it's a workhorse.
Oh, it is. It's
and
super
I'll agree.
good.
But board game bags are definitely.
Oh, those ones are really good too. Yeah.
Yep. And people love standing behind you at Gen Con when you're using that huge board game bag and bumping into everybody.
I don't mind it so much because I often have a stroller in front of me, so
Yeah.
it just buffs the stroller. I'm like, oh, well, whatever.
Yep. Yeah. And also, you're the stroller, so you're the jerk that has a stroller.
Yeah.
So-
and I, unfortunately, we only have one stroller. We have those wide wheel strollers, so I do apologize.
Yes. So,
Yes.
all right, number 1.
Is poker chips.
Yeah.
As they say, they're a great substitute for money. Or what I would do is go back to number 4 on their list and go to Etsy. Where was the Etsy one?
Oh, yeah, number 4. Yeah.
Number 4? Yeah, go to Etsy and buy money. That's what I would do rather than poker chips, but that's just me.
But there are some very nice poker chips.
There are some
out there.
very nice poker chips out there. Yeah.
One of the best things about Splendor is the chips.
That makes that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, absolutely.
And I agree. Now, we were at Mayfair or Mayday?
Mayday.
Mayday, and we bought some nice metal coins. And
They
say
did have really good metal coins.
poker coins are a great substitute for money. And I guess you usually see these in 18xx games for the train games, things like that. A lot of those use these poker chips. But I honestly like a bit more. I like metal coins.
I like
can.
the clinking of them.
Yeah, I do too.
Clink, clink, clink.
Yeah,
Sounds
and
like
that's-
you got some monies.
And it's funny how you can. Somebody told me you can use quarters, dimes, pennies, and all that. It's just not the same.
No.
So I think poker chips are a good
Yeah.
thing, but I really think that metal coins are probably what I would put there instead of poker chips.
That was my one thing. Also, I added a few things that if I was making a list, this
Okay.
is what I would have
What were
added.
they?
I would have added dice tray / dice towers.
I agree with that. Dice trays especially. Dice
Yeah.
towers, we have probably, looking around, probably 15.
Yep.
No, we probably have 20, 25 dice towers. We very rarely use them, but dice trays we use every time.
Yes, and I was also going to say I like those little containers for the bits of the games. So at the moment, the things you
Yes.
printed for Wingspan are in little cupcake liners, but you can
Yes.
also get dice trays or whatever for your bits. For a board game set, rather than them being spruaned everywhere, they're kind of a little bit more contained. I would say that too.
I completely agree with
We
that.
were actually at Dice Tower East, and some friends had traveled from, I don't know where Lindsay and Jeff were from, but they had traveled from, and they brought in their luggage these cupcake trays just so they had containers for the bits.
Yeah, and
which I really liked.
For you that don't know, these are the silicone cupcake baking cups.
Yep.
And they are incredible.
They are
you can get them
incredible.
on Amazon. You just type in silicone cupcake baking cups.
They're also really good for when you do have a baby in your hand and you're playing Twilight Inscription for the baby to stack.
Yes, exactly. So we'll hand people babies and cupcake.
silicone cupcake trays.
So anyway, these are great for holding.
these are amazing.
Holding bits and things like that.
And like I said, they pack light. They don't weigh anything, so you can take them with you to travel. I really like those.
agree.
And then I guess you'd also need to add the bands for the board game boxes. That's an accessory I think people need.
I agree, and that's something
Yep.
lately we've been adding. So
Are there any accessories you can think of?
no, I think that covered most of it. To be honest, the only one I would add is the one I said, metal coins. Board game organizers, I kind of almost put that with 3D printers
Yes.
because I generally print the majority of my board game inserts.
You have some great inserts. You have some great 3D printers for quacks, so everything fits in one box.
Right.
And you even have a diagram for how it all fits in the box, which I
Yes.
love. And Dinosaur World, Marvel
Now-
Champions. You have some great organizers there.
The only other one I would add to these board game accessories are player aids.
Yes.
One thing we try to do is when we get a game, you get on the BGG file section and you're going to find any type of player aid that you can print and put in the box.
Yes.
Maybe even if there's 4 players, 4, one for each person. And that way, more of like a reference card, whatever, for everybody to learn the game. I think those are, I wouldn't consider them accessories, but it's something that I think is needed for the majority of a lot of these games. We have
yeah,
them
I agree.
for everybody to have their own. So I think that's a big thing I'd put
I
in
do
there.
like in Twilight Inscription, you all have your own player aid.
Exactly. Yeah. Player aids are a must. And
I
if,
think
if
they are
people
a
don't
must.
include player aids, it just annoys
It's
me.
frustrating when
I
they
don't even know why they do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like I want to start docking people a point
Yes.
in everything. Just put a player aid in there.
Yeah.
But again, you can print those off.
Thankfully.
So yeah. Let us know what you guys think the best board game accessory is out there.
Definitely let us know.
All right. So also let us know any of these other ones, the games you've played, also those games at higher player counts if you find out they work or they don't.
Let
But-
us know. I'm willing to be wrong.
Yep. And email us again at show@mainlygames.com. And again, we will start doing a lot more off-the-shelf reviews.
We will.
Because although we're going through our new games, we need to concurrently go through our old games, get them off that shelf of shame, and see if they hold up.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to do that. We were actually rearranging our shelves the other day, and there were some great games that we haven't played or played in a while that I was like, hey, we need to bust that out again. Just, we haven't. We've been doing kind of Code of the New, and we need to change that up.
Exactly. And we are going to, starting next week when we slow down, we're going to do more YouTube videos. A lot of you have liked some of those YouTube videos. One thing we're going to try to do is we're going to video record our podcast because certain people watch it on YouTube and they said, hey, why don't you just turn the camera on while you do it?
Yeah.
So we thought, well, that would be fun. So we might try that.
We'll try it.
In, probably maybe next week or the week after. Yeah. And just see how it goes.
Not next week. The week after is Dice Tower Retreat. That's exciting. And
Dice Tower
then 3 weeks away is Gamers of the Gulf Coast.
Yep.
So if you haven't bought your airfares to Southwest Florida, there is still time.
Yes. Gamers of the Gulf Coast, of course, is all free. It's just a game day we're having down here that everyone's invited to. Dice Tower Retreat, I think, is sold out now. They have a waiting list. I'm not sure. But it's fun. It's like Dice Tower East, but a lot smaller. Maybe 300 or 400 people. And the Dice Tower crew, they do such a great job.
They do a great job over there.
So, I mean, I think I've been to all their conventions this year. It's crazy. But
we haven't been to West.
I didn't do West. You're right.
No.
But, so if you guys are going
cruise.
No, I didn't. I'm not doing the cruise. Middle of my season.
Yes.
But
both of those two.
If you are going to Dice Tower Retreat, let me know. I'd love to hook up and play some games there.
Definitely.
Or if you can be down here for the Gamers of the Gulf Coast. And that is it for right now. But hey, thank you guys so much for listening. And we will talk to you
next week.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Get out there and find Yura Yura Penguin.
Yura Yura Penguin.
And then watch the U.S. Open because they're playing tennis. 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 All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Tennis.
Tennis.